at it again with another episode of Shut Up and Listen. It's your girl, LA, and I'm here with Hardhead. That's it, right?
Rockhead.
Same shit. Rockhead, how was your weekend? Because you came in here extra spicy today, and your energy is just beyond me. So how was your weekend?
My weekend was shitty.
Okay, I can tell.
It got worse.
Yeah, I can tell that as well.
Day by day.
Day by day.
We're here. God is good.
Great. All thanks to him.
And what about yours?
My weekend was definitely shitty as well. It was very shitty. Okay, so we're just gonna kick this off by saying that niggas ain't shit. Yeah, definitely not shit.
Like old niggas, some niggas, most niggas, give me like a percentage.
The majority of y'all motherfuckers.
Anybody.
Except, I like where you're going with that. But you said that too. You said that yourself last episode. Niggas ain't shit. So you did. Run that back. Pull a clip up. All right. Niggas ain't shit. Mm-hmm. But bitches ain't shit neither.
Don't forget the end.
Bitches ain't shit. I'm trying to tell you.
My bad.
All right. So I had a little crazy experience this weekend that really made me question a lot of, just question a lot. It was like, yeah, it is. I had a little episode with, remember last time I asked a question about dating someone who your homeboy or homegirl dated before,
Out
of line. Granted. I never thought I would be one of those girls. I always said, like, we don't fuck with the bros. The bros is the bros. Something about the pettiness of me. Shout out to my best friend, Charity, because she told me the best way to get a nigga back for the shit he does is fuck his ops or fuck his friends.
What you said her name was?
Charity.
Being that you said her name, Charity, you ain't shit. You're out of line. Continue.
Not so much on my best friend.
That was it.
But she taught me well. She taught me the code, because usually I just sit there moping and cry about the shit that happened. So I decided to take a different approach on the bullshit that I was going through when it came to a nigga that I was talking to, and I decided, hey, listen, like, you know. But a little situation happened where the person that I was, I don't know, I can't really call it talking or like fucking with, because it was brought to my attention that I wasn't shit to him. You feel me? Which kind of, it hurt.
Yeah.
Cue the dramatic music and the little violins. Yeah, put that in there. Insert that. But yeah, and a situation happened this weekend where we had all went out. As always, you know, I do bartending, I do hosting, party promotion, all of that. So we went out together, as we always do. Party was great. Party was wonderful. The guy was on some, I'm paying for you, but I'm not paying for your cousin to get in, because that's not my bitch and I'm not fucking with her. So that's my homegirl, but I'm not paying for her to get in. Now, mind you, me and her were laying down in the bed. She was in her house, I'm in my house. We're like, we done for the night, we staying in. He calls us like, yo, come outside. You know, outside without y'all. So we like,
wait. You said outside is outside without y'all.
Outside is not outside without us. Because
you say y'all or you?
Us, both of us, me and her. Because wherever you see her, you see me. Wherever you see me, you see her. So it's...
No. This particular time.
No, every time.
Yeah, I was together.
He called us on FaceTime 3-way.
Oh, yeah.
And invited both of us to come out.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm like, all right, cool. Like, we outside. You outside, we outside. She was like, yeah, come on, we outside. So I'm like, all right. The spot that we were going to is literally, like, up the block from my house. And she lives 20 minutes away from me. And he lives 5 minutes away from me. So I got there first, after him. And she made her way. Once I got there, he was like, yo, call me when you get outside. I'm gonna get you in. I'm like, all right, cool. Prepared. I had my own money, as always. But he paid for me to get him. So we get inside the spot, everything. He got the drinks, he got the hookah, everything set up, everything great, everything wonderful. So now he's like, well, where's your cousin? I'm like, she's on her way. Why? He like, oh, all right, listen, I'm not paying for her to get in. I'm letting you know this right now. I'm not paying for her to get in. I said, well, did you tell her that? Because usually when we go out with y'all cover for us. You feel me? Not that we don't have our own money, but you cover for us. Did you let her know that? He was like, nah, you tell her. Let her know. So I call her. I'm like, yo, listen. Just make sure you got, you know, I know you got bread, but just make sure you got bread on you, because, you know, he's on some shit he's usually not on. She was like, all right, cool. So she texted him. She's like, yo, listen, you gonna come get me when I get, he's like, yeah, I got you. Just let me know when you get outside. Cool. So now he's showing me the text messages like, yo, I'm telling you right now, I'm not paying for her. I'm like, then tell her that. Like, why are you telling it to me? Tell it to her. So now she gets there to the spot. She comes inside the spot. She calls him to let him know that she's outside. He verbatim, looks at his phone, like, yo, she's calling me right now. I'm like, okay, well, answer. Go get her. He's like, clicks the phone, put it back in his pocket. He's like, I'm not going outside to get her. I'm like, bro. He like, fuck it, I'm going to send my friend out there to go get her. So the friend goes out there. The friend gets her. And she comes in. We partying now. Everything great. Having the time of our lives. Party done. We're about to leave. She wants to go to another spot because she wants to see her boo, which happens to be his friend. So she's like, listen, we out to the afties. I know y'all usually go to the afties. He's there. Let's go together. He's like, all right, we outside. So we're waiting to leave out the door, and he stops to speak to some girl. Mind you, I'm not insecure. I don't compete where I don't compare. You feel me? I looked at the girl. She looked a good 45 years old. No side teeth. Ponytail the size of a paintbrush. Not body shaming, but she was the size of a twig. A cinnamon stick at that. So they're standing there. They're conversing. Now his back is towards me. I'm standing behind him. My cousin's next to me, and she's looking towards me. So she's having a conversation with him, but she keeps looking at me. So if you know me, I have an RBF, resting bitch face. I'm just there like this while she's conversing with him. So I'm like, okay. So after the conversation is done, she immediately walks up to me and says, are you fucking on him? So I'm like, bitch, who wants to know? So she's like, nah, I'm asking because if you're fucking on him, I just want you to know he's a treat and you need to treat him like a treat. I'm like, what you mean by that? She was like, I seen him in here with you all night. I seen y'all was chilling, and now he's trying to take me home to fuck on me. So if
left her.
Yeah, she's like, so if that's your nigga,
this was about the door.
Look at that. so she's like, if that's your nigga, dub him. So then he comes up to us and he's just like, yo, what you said to her? He's asking the girl what she said to me. I'm like, no, fuck what she said to her. Like, fuck what she said to me. What did you say to her? So he like, oh, well, she was just like, oh, you didn't dance up with me all night like you usually do. That must be a bitch. And I told her, no, that's not my bitch. That's just somebody I came here with. Now, mind you, right. That's all. I'm going to leave that at that. So, mind you, right, cool. So now, I left that at that. We argued for a little bit. We went outside. It's time. We still trying to leave. The nigga decides that he wants to play dice for 2 hours outside. 2 hours. Now, at this point, after he pulled that shit, I was ready to go. Like I said, the spot is up the block from my house. I can leave. I can go home at any time. But because he invited my cousin to come out as well, I wanted to make sure my cousin got where she needed to be safe, whether it was him taking her home or him taking her to the afties. Either way, I wasn't leaving without making sure she got where she needs to get home safe. Point blank period. After 2 hours of us begging this nigga to leave, we leave. We go to the other spot. Now we get to the other spot. Of course, my cousin's boo is not there. There's nothing but strippers that look like they're about 18 on crack. And he's like, man, this spot is dry. I don't even like stripper bitches. Like, we're not even going to stay here for long. I'm like, all right, cool. Mind you, again, he didn't want to pay for her to get in. He paid for his bros to get in. I paid for myself, and they let her come in. Whatever, cool. For the moment. But then eventually they made her pay because we wasn't supposed to stay there long. Long story short, like I said, my cousin's boyfriend wasn't there. She's trying to figure out why the fuck her nigga's not there if he told her that he was going to be there, which was the whole purpose of us going there. So I turn around. She's gone out the spot. So I'm like, what the fuck this bitch went? You dragged me here and you're not here? So I'm like, let me see where the fuck this bitch went to. I'm like, have you seen my cousin? He like, I think she's outside arguing with the guy, her boyfriend. So I'm like, all right, let me text her. Phone dead. So I'm like, give me your car keys. Let me get your car keys real quick. Let me go charge my phone and see where she's at. I get outside. I got his car keys. I get outside. She's arguing with her man on the phone. So I'm like, come get in the car. You know, don't do this outside. She crying, boo-hooing. Let's do this in the car. Let me charge my phone. So now we get in the car. We chopping it up. An hour passes by. Now it's 5 o'clock in the morning, mind you. 5:30, 5 o'clock. It's 6:30 by the time I look at my phone again. It's 6:30. So I'm like, all right, my phone's charged enough. I can take my Uber home. How you get home, let's figure this out. If he's going to take you home, let him take you home. Let's just figure this out. So I go back inside the building, and I'm like, I call him, and I'm like, hey, I can't get in the building. Are you coming out? He's like, yeah. I'll be out there in a second. Don't even come in. We about to leave. I'm like, cool, great. Get back in the car, turn the car back on. 45 minutes pass by. The nigga's not outside again. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I finally get inside. Now, mind you, I'm under the impression that this is someone who I talk to. This is the guy who I'm getting to know. This is the guy I'm vibing with. I spend time with him. We go out. We do us. So in my mind, that first situation in the club, in the other spot, should have never happened. That was already enough for me. So now I go into this spot, and I'm like, why the fuck this nigga's not outside yet? Why? Because I walk in the spot, and the same nasty-ass stripper bitches that he was talking about, the nigga is just there. So I'm like, yeah? So I take the keys to his car, and I throw it in his face. And I walk the fuck out. And I go in the car, and I tell my cousin what happened. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, exactly my point. So now, I'm sitting in the car again, another 20 minutes, waiting for the nigga to come outside. Like, nigga, like, you done got caught. Come outside, apologize, do something. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Because you wasn't doing this shit when I was sitting in there with you. You wasn't doing this shit in the other spot. You didn't dance with nobody. So now that you feel like I'm not around to see what you're doing, you're going to be disrespectful.
The drink start catching up. What's the mistake?
He don't even smoke.
I said to drink.
He barely even drank that night.
45 minutes when you left, he was taking it.
Probably. It had to be crack, though, because if you see them bitches, they were sharing crack together. Anyway, so, make a long story short, I'm like, listen, I want to go. So, take my cousin home. Now, mind you, I'm arguing with him in the building. He has his homeboy outside in the car with my cousin. At one point, he came outside to move his car up so his sister can get her car out. He lied and said, oh, look, my cousin's going in the building. Let me go say bye to my cousin. Left the car on, left his phone in the car. He went, he left the keys in the car and stuff like that. His homeboy called him like, yo, are you coming? Because he had left his car. His homeboy left his car parked by the first spot we went to. So his homeboy was like, yo, are we leaving or not? He like, yo, they still in the car with you? Mind you, he don't know that I'm hearing him. He like, yo, they still in the car with you? He like, yeah. He like, yo, take my phone and take my keys and fucking tell them to get out the car and find their way home. So I'm like, what? So I take the keys out the car, and I go inside, and I'm like, yo, you're going to take my cousin home. Like, you invited her out. Mind you, I know him because of her. So they were friends before me and him ever. So I'm thinking it's a loyalty thing to me. So I'm like, I'm not leaving you because you're my cousin. I want to make sure you get home safe. But he's supposed to make sure you get home or wherever it is because he invited you out, and that's your friend in the end of the day. Before anything, that's your homeboy. I legit had a whole 45-minute argument with this nigga with his keys in my hand. You're going to take my cousin home. You're going to make sure she get home. That's not my bitch. She shouldn't have came outside if she didn't have money to come outside. She shouldn't have been outside. I'm not paying for her. She was supposed to meet her nigga here. Why her nigga not here making sure she get home? Like, just going off. And I'm like, be that as it may, she's here now. We're here now. Take her home. I'm not ready to go inside now. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. How much more partying do you want to do? You've been out since 8 o'clock last night. Sit your little happy ball ass down. Like you act like you've never been around bitches and bottles before. Sit the fuck down. So now I'm aggravated. I'm really going hard because I could get home. I just want to make sure she gets home. So me and him argue until the nigga was just like, fuck it, I'm putting her in an Uber. He put her in an Uber. Then I called my Uber, which he should have done from the beginning, right? Cool. I get in my Uber. I go to order my Uber. He's like, nah, my bro could take you home. Because the Uber was taking 20 minutes. So I'm like, all right, fine, fuck it. After me being stubborn, I'm like, all right, fine. He could take me home. He's going right where I'm going. The next day, he texts my cousin and goes, yo, I just got finished fucking on that stripper bitch. So my cousin texts me like, wow, this nigga just texted me this. So I'm like, that's crazy. Then I told her, I'm like, listen, I'm going to put you on about everything that the nigga was saying and why I was going so hard. So I told her, like, listen, he was like, he don't know why the fuck you came outside with no money. He don't fuck with broke bitches. That was a real bum bitch move, da-da-da. He's not fucking on you. He don't mind paying for me, but you is a different story. I'm telling her this. She goes back and she presses him about it. The nigga flips the whole story around. Nah, your cousin was the one calling you a bum bitch saying that you ain't had no money. Now, make it make sense. If I stood there and argued with the nigga for 5 extra hours more than I had to when I could have just went home from the first spot, I could have left you. I didn't leave you because you're my cousin and I wanted to make sure you got home safe. And I didn't leave you because I didn't like the way that nigga moved. I didn't like that little, I'm not paying for her, but I bring her outside and, like, she got to figure it out for herself type shit. Like, I didn't like that. And not only that I didn't like that, but I didn't like the fact that you said it to me and you didn't say it to her. You had her under the impression that you were going to make sure she got home safe, that she had drinks, she was valid to come through the, without spending much bread. You feel me? Not that she didn't have it, because she has it, but don't do that. The very next day, after I told my cousin everything I would know, the same day he texted her like, yo, we outside today, but don't tell LA because I don't want to be around her. So I told her, I said, if you want to go outside with the nigga, go ahead. If that's still your friend after he just tried to pin us against each other by saying I said something about you that I didn't, when I'm sitting here telling you what he said about you, then go ahead. 2 days in a row. Sis is in parties with the nigga 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row. I felt the type of way because I'm just like, damn, bitch, like, you're my cousin, and I'm telling you that this nigga really tried to violate the both of us, and you're still around him. She called me 4:30 in the morning like, bitch, come outside. He's here. Come chill. I'm just like, why would I want to go outside and chill when the nigga that I just told you that I would potentially spit in his face if I ever seen him again for disrespecting me? Not only because of that situation, but there's a lot more to what he said that I'm not going to put out there in regards to how we met and how we started messing with each other that I felt was real disrespectful. And I'm big on loyalty. I'm big on loyalty. If you're someone that I love, if you're my friend, if you're my cousin, if you are bro to me, there is not one thing negative that someone can say about you that I will let rock and continue to be around that person.
So why you didn't tell her when she first came to the spot?
Why? I did tell her.
Immediately?
I told, before she got in, remember I said I called her and I was like, yo, bitch, make sure you have money because he's not trying to make sure you get in the spot. Like, she was like, what? He gonna pay for me? I'm gonna call him right now. And she called and she texted him.
Alright, so she showed you her loyalty.
Oh, obviously. But that's how my weekend went. I know that was a good 20 minutes, but that's how my weekend went, and that's
you made
why.
me shut up and listen.
For once.
Women like to be controlled.
I feel like women don't mind being submissive to the right type of guy. Not controlled, but submissive.
She fucked it up. Yeah. What you think happened today?
We don't mind to be submissive. I don't mind personally to be submissive, but if you're not giving me anything to be submissive towards, and you're just a fuck ass nigga that just brings dick to the table, I'm not. No.
What's the qualifications to be submissive?
I mean, you gotta have your shit together. You gotta make me feel like I'm safe around you, mentally, physically, and emotionally, financially as well. If we're in a relationship, then no, I don't mind doing all the extra, and I don't consider cooking for your man extra. I don't consider, cleaning for your man. But if I'm in a serious relationship and we're both working, and let's say we have children together, and we split the schedule. All right, I work from this time to this time, and then you watch the kids, and you work from this time to this time, and then I watch the kids. If my man makes me feel like I'm financially, emotionally, physically, and mentally stable enough, and he happens to make more money than me, and he gets offered a higher position where he will make more money, but it will clash with my schedule and my time for watching the kids while he's at work, and he tells me, hey babe, listen, stay home, start a business. I'm gonna give you $4,000, $5,000. Start a business. Either you could do nails, or you could do this, you could do that, but that has to require you staying home to take care of the children and make sure dinner is cooked and the house is clean, laundry is done when I get home and shit like that. You stay home, you run your business. Whatever you need for your business, I got you. But you just gotta stay home because I gotta be work extra hours, or I gotta be traveling around extra hours, but I'm gonna make sure you're financially stable, you and the kids. I don't mind being submissive towards that.
Would you do that for a nigga?
Would I do that? For what? If the roles were reversed? I have.
You think that would last long?
I have. It didn't last long. It didn't last long.
It could last long?
If the other person doesn't get comfortable with allowing you to overwork yourself. Like, if you're out there and you're doing everything that you're doing, and then you're not coming home to certain things that will make you give you that drive. Like, you feel me? I'm not going out to work 45 hours a day to come home to argue with you about dumb shit. I'm not coming home 45 hours a day and there's nothing for me to eat. Laundry's not done. I still got to come home after working and being outside and doing everything that I've done to come home, wash dishes, sweep the floor, cook, clean, do all of that when you were home all day. And all you had to do was just make sure these things were prepared properly when I got home. If the other person's not feeling appreciated for the work and the hard work and efforts that they're putting in, then no, it's not going to work. When you are with a person, you're always supposed to make sure the little things as well as the big things are taken care of. Your man walks in the house, hey, babe, how was your day? That's where I feel like a lot of females fuck up at. You know, they know that
I think they try to mold it down to that.
No, I feel like men are so strong.
You know, because you've been through shit. I feel like a lot of females try to mold their guy into what she talking about.
No, but it's like it's common.
They give up their best years trying to do so.
I have done that though. I have given up some of the best years of my life trying to be a wife to a nigga that didn't deserve those wifely things that I was doing. All the extra ways, huh?
At what point? What's the?
Ain't no in the beginning. All women ignore red flags.
I'm saying, what's?
I said that last episode. I've ignored red flags to put behind what I felt like I could work on with a nigga. But
especially
what line does it take to be crossed in order for you to realize, like, all right,
when I start feeling unappreciated and devalued,
but it happens mostly when.
When I start feeling devalued, and I start feeling like I'm getting tired. Like, you feel me? Like, the little things that I'm doing is not being appreciated, and the communication is not there, and, you know, like I said, it's a lot of double standards when it comes to things that women allow men to do and men won't allow women to do. So,
like,
I know one.
What?
Eating ass. Yeah, that's you just shouldn't do.
You ate ass.
No, I'm just saying because you brought up a double standard, and that's just the main one that just can't happen.
Double standards. All right, so
just shouldn't happen.
all right.
Go ahead.
I got a good example.
Ladies.
You're a party promoter, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a party promoter. No, you're a party promoter. I'm a bartender.
I'm lit.
All right,
okay.
We both lit. Now we met each other in the night scene. You met me serving bottles. I met you promoting. You got bitches around you. I'm serving bottles to niggas.
True.
Now we start talking to each other.
Not talking to each other like networking or dating.
No. Now we're dating.
Okay.
Now we're dating each other. But now the little things that you overlooked because we weren't dating, like, you know, me being outside every night, me being in a party scene every night, me being in the club serving bottles, shaking ass every night. Now they begin to bother you. But
what the fuck you doing? Ain't you let it go?
Exactly. But there's a lot of men that don't look at it like that. There's a lot of men that be like, oh, you outside every day, you outside, you for the streets, you outside, you in every nigga's face, is that and third. But bro, this is a part of my job description. The same way you're a party promoter and you got a section full of bad bitches shaking ass and da-da-da.
You got it. There's no way in hell I'm going to meet you as a fucking... I'm not about to meet you as a prostitute and try to turn you into my wife. It don't make no sense. Now, if I met you and we both in the club scene...
You can't get upset about
something.
But a lot
unless
of men
you about to
do
change
that.
your life. Unless you about to change your life.
That's that double standard shit.
No. I see. Then I feel like that, yeah. No, that work both standards. If y'all working in a club scene and you making $20 million because you done hit something, you say, I don't want you to do that no more. I can't do that no more. But if I make $20 million fucking dollars and I say I don't want you to do that no more, but I love you.
But that's
what you want to do. That go back to take your little $20,000, go start a business, and if you love me, I'm gonna change it.
But it also goes to this. A lot of men
change it. I'm not about to.
But that also comes to this. If we're both bartender, party promoter, you want me to quit my job that I'm making. I know I got a secure bag. I know my bag is secure every night. I come home.
Yeah, if I know I can secure your bag.
If you know that you can secure my bag, but if
then
you're not exactly, if you're not even giving a preview of that, like, you feel me? Like, men, I feel like men get comfortable, and this is why I feel like a lot of women like to I don't want to say depend. But a lot of women like to
see, but if you give a preview to that,
a lot of exactly,
she gonna think you're a trick.
Exactly, this is what I'm saying. But a lot of women,
you know how women be like, yo, you want a nigga to earn something? My fault to cut you off. You want a nigga to earn it?
Yeah.
A nigga want a woman to do the same.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Little does he know.
A lot of women will.
She gonna have to show me I can trust her.
I mean, yeah.
But it's
you
not.
You fucked up my train of thought, so I don't even know where I was going with that, but yeah.
She gonna have to show me I can trust her, basically.
I mean, I guess, like. I feel like 50-50. If, like I said, if your man is out there working all day, he out there, whatever his job description is, scammer, schemer, tricker, flipper, finessa, whatever it is that he's doing, he's bringing back the bread to you, y'all bringing back the bread to each other. I just personally don't feel like either person should get too comfortable with that. If he's telling you to stay home, that don't mean stay home and not do something with yourself. Because double the money, your money and my money put together, it's still gonna be more than just you out there busting your ass by yourself. Have a goal, have a side gig, have something getting done. Bitch, if you gotta sit there and sell plates of dinner, if you gotta sit there, if you gotta do nails, if you gotta learn how to do lashes, eyebrows, whatever it is that keeps a hustle, you feel me? Like a lot of girls are just
secure the back end.
Secure the bag. Secure the bag for both of y'all. And my mom's always told me you don't gotta let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. So even if you out there stashing money, stacking it away, even if your nigga's giving you bread, he's giving you, let's say you got an allowance $2,000 a fucking week, every 2 weeks. Put some of that bread away. Because God forbid something happens to your nigga, he get locked up, or y'all need money, or y'all need something, and it's his turn to depend on you, what you gotta bring to the table? If you was taking all that money that nigga was giving you and going buying Birkins and Louis and this, that, and that, you didn't put
that Gucci range.
Yeah, you didn't put nothing away for a rainy day. You cannot just expect your significant other to do that by themselves. They can't be out here thinking for the right now, the tomorrow, the yesterday, and 5 years from now, and you're just thinking about the moment. You gotta have that mindset.
Yeah, that's that unicorn thinking.
Yeah, why do you call me a unicorn?
Because you don't know.
They don't just.
Shit sound like a book. Sound like you read this shit.
Fairy tale.
It's bullshit. That's why you be stumping me. You be thinking you be winning. Because the shit you say, I'm like, what?
It's the shit I live by, though. It's the shit I live by. It's me. It's who I am.
Your age and the way you choking. Rippers wouldn't believe
There's
that
one
shit.
copy of that book.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
it.
sorry. No, I'm just a different type of female. I don't believe in.
You know what you watch? Fucking Steve Harvey. What's that shit Steve Harvey gave us the secret?
I don't watch
Think like a man.
Mm-hmm. You had to watch that shit.
No, it's just, you know what it is? I've been on the other side of that. On the other side of what I'm saying right now. I've been a dumb bitch before. So I know dumb bitch qualities. I know what, and then I have lots of homegirls, and I have friends, and I have cousins, and I have sisters. I watch where they go wrong at. Like, damn, like, all right, you feel me? I pick up tips like, all right, this cousin been with her nigga for 5 years. She's obviously doing something good. Let me link up with her and get some tips from her. And then I got this cousin who can't keep a nigga for 2 seconds. So let me see what she's doing wrong and learn from that. And that's how I was able to build myself as a woman. And I've encountered a lot of mature guys that actually sat down and had conversations with me, and I listened to the shit that they've been through with females and the shit that they don't like and the shit that they expect. But that goes back to you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. And that goes with niggas as well. You can't turn an outside nigga who's comfortable with being outside and fucking 1,000 different bitches. I mean, I believe that you could do it to an extent, but I feel like something in them is always going to be the same type of person. Point blank, period. Like, it's always something in them that's going to... Do you believe that a person could 1,000% commit to someone? 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like from birth and not be with nobody else if they die?
No. Actually, my grandmother...
Not in this day and age.
My grandmother, once her husband died, and he died almost 40 years ago, she has yet to be with any other man. Any other man. Not sexually, not dating.
She alive, but the heart is gone.
That's a respect.
Ain't no respect. The heart is gone. I'm alive for y'all, but the heart, it's a different type of love. Like the love part of her heart is gone.
But that
the love for my
that's
kids,
classic though.
for my.
You don't find that.
Yeah.
You don't find that.
Because that's an older soul.
Yeah,
I would love that. Like, I would love to have that mindset.
I'm happy she's still alive, because the stories you really hear is when somebody go.
Yeah.
Next thing you know,
somebody else they die of heartbreak.
They just die right. I be like, I believe in that shit. I be like, I know they was going next. I know that person was going.
She's been, and my grandmother's like 70. She's like 70-something years old, but they were together. That was her first. That was her first love. She had all her children with him.
That's all she knew.
That's all, exactly. So after that, and I had a whole conversation with her. I'm like, Grandma, my grandmother never smoked weed. My grandmother never picked up any type of habit. There's sexual things that my grandmother has never done that she was just like, yo, I just didn't find the need to. My husband was satisfied with A, B, C, and D, and that was just enough.
She was a leader, not a follower.
After that,
shout out to the OG.
Gigi. Shout out to you, Gigi.
Shout out to the Gigi OG because
Gigi.
that's the ones that's around.
My girl.
See, that's why I'm like this. All this new shit and all this new stuff.
But yeah, no,
I don't like this new shit.
I feel like you could fully commit yourself to somebody, but I think, and we can end it at here. I think the reason for that is because everybody who you run into is hurt and damaged. And nobody wants to give their all to someone else and get it done again.